My name is Tonisco. I'm a certified Tonisco hot tub machine trainer. Welcome to the Tonisco Junior training. Today I'm going to show you the new concept for Danfoss hot tub ball valves called Tonisco Redline. The concept is two suitcases. The other one contains the hot tub machine and the other contains the adapters that you need for the certain type of ball valve. The new Tonisco Junior is designed so that it will fit to every single valve in the world. So basically the set then always comes so that you have the modular hot tub machine set and then the right adapter set depending on what type of valve you're hot tapping into. So basically it looks like this. These adapters are for Danfoss hot tub ball valves from DN15 to DN100, and the machine set is always similar no matter what you are hot tapping into. So only the adapter set changes depending on the valve type. Today I'm going to show you how to hot tap through Danfoss ball valves, and basically the different connection types that we are using today is the standard hot tap ball valve, especially designed for underground hot tappings. That's why it has the low stem. Then we are going to hot tap through a normal weldable ball valve, a ball valve with flange, and basically those are the types that are normally used. And like I said, our new design is designed so that it will fit to any type of valve. Tonisco Redline is especially designed for Danfoss ball valves. The new Tonisco hot tap machine concept has basically, like I said, the two basic features that the one set contains always the hot tub machine and then you have the adapters. And one of the benefits here is that every single part has their own place. So it's easy to transport, easy to service, easy to clean and put everything into its place. And because it's really visual, so it's easy to see if something is missing. And now that I have to get my helmet, my glasses, and start hot tapping. Number one rule always when using hot tap machines is of course safety. That's why we have to say goodbye to the cap, even though it's a really nice cap. The basic equipment for safety is of course helmet with a strap, protective glasses, and ear protection. Let's start hot tapping. First, when you arrive to the worksite, open the suitcases, check that you have everything. And the first phase is to measure the length from the surface of the pipe to the top of the valve. By doing that, you can check the manual and see how long your drilling shaft has to be. And the basic idea here is that every junior has a base shaft. Then, depending on what type of valve you're using, you will build the shaft to its right length. We have short extension and longer extension. And we also have a special shaft extension socket if you have already built the machine and you realize that the shaft is too short. So I took the measure. It was approximately 20 centimeters. I know that length will go with one short extension and the base shaft. I will screw the extension to its place. Then I will take the chuck. I will screw the chuck to the shaft. When connecting the chuck to the shaft, do not tighten it right away, because it will be the pins that will then lock the hole saw. So I will leave it there for now. And then you go to the adapter kit. You take the right size adapter. And now, when we are doing Danfoss hot tub ball valves, the body of the adapter DN50 and DN40 is the same. So you will need to have the DN50 adapter body and the adapter socket for DN40. And before you do anything else, always double check that the adapter goes to the valve that you're using. So first, insert the socket, then check that the thread goes without problems. So now you have the DN40 adapter body, DN40 adapter socket, and a 38mm hole saw. Now we will insert the hole saw to the threads of the chuck, and then we will secure it with the pins. Let's see that they're in place. We do this because we don't want the hole saw to get stuck on the chuck. So basically it's not held by the thread, it's held by the pins, so it's easy to take off after the hot tub. Then we will take the pilot drill and the magnet. The pilot drill contains these barbed wires here, and their job is to take the coupon which is drilled from the surface of the pipe. This is really important. And we use the magnet to gather most waste that comes from cutting the pipe. Insert the magnet on the pilot drill, then insert pilot drill to the chuck. Take your 4mm Allen key, fully open it first, put the pilot on place, like this. First, tighten it a little bit and test that the pilot is actually on the notch, like this. Then fully tighten the locking screw of the pilot, like this. And now, basically, the hot tub drilling shaft is ready for use. Then we will take the body of the hot tub machine from the suitcase. You will remove the feed socket and fully open the feed socket. It's good to fully open the feed socket always, because doing this will basically force you always to start the hot tub process from the right spot. Then I will take the body, check that the sealings are all intact. I will put some Tonisco silicone to the sealings, and then I will mount the body to the adapter. I will also put some silicone to the adapter socket sealings and put the socket in place. Or if you want, you can also insert the socket first to the valve and then connect the machine. Then what we do is we lubricate the shaft. The use of lubricant is really important because it will enhance the tightness and also make the machine last longer and avoid any small leakage. Then the last step of assembling the machine is to put some metal cutting paste on the top of the cutters and the pilot drill. The metal cutting paste also enhances the cutting features and also protects the hole saw and the pilot drill from unnecessary wearing. So it will basically add more years to your machine if you remember to use it. And of course, the metal cutting paste is not edible, so you cannot use it for potable water. But for cooling, heating, you should always use it. Then, what you do next, you have the sealing, you have the pilot, you have the hole saw, everything is in place. Then you pull the shaft upward position, and basically now the machine is ready for use. Then we go to the valve. We insert the adapter socket. Then we will screw the machine in place. And everything is designed so that you should not have to use any excessive force. Just remember to protect the threads when welding and otherwise handling the valve. Just put it hand tight, open the cover of the valve and check that the valve works properly. And also really important is to check that when the shaft is on the upright position, that the valve closes and opens normally. That's what we are going to do next. Choose the right side Allen key. First, you can slowly drop the shaft down and check that the assembly is the right length. So now the tip of the pilot drill is touching the pipe surface. Then we take the fully opened feed socket. We lock the socket to its place like this. And now when we start feeding or turning the feed socket clockwise, it will automatically find the first available starting point from the notches in the body. Like that. It will lock automatically to its place. Then we will tighten it just a little bit so that we do not push and force the pilot drill to the surface of the pipe. Now we see that the feed socket is almost in the middle, which is basically the optimum place to start, because you have a good place to start and you also have enough place to adjust your hot tapping if needed. Now I will remove the socket. I will take the shaft all the way up and check that the valve is opening and closing normally. You can see from the marks on the valve, now it's fully closed and the shaft has plenty of room still to move. So now I know that I'm able to make the hot tap with this assembly. Then I will fully open the valve like that and check that the shaft moves without any problems. Now I know that with this assembly I'm able to make this hot tap with Danfoss DN40 hot tap ball valve. Try to avoid hitting the shaft because there's a small chance that you will also hit the pilot drill against the pipe. Just do it like we did. It will automatically find the right starting point. Now, what I usually do, I usually make the test pressure in this phase before assembling the drive unit. So now the valve is fully opened. Now it's time to do the pressure test. And we cannot highlight the importance of pressure test. And the pressure test is not your official pressure test. It's a pressure test where you check the welding seams of the ball valve. It is so much easier to fix the welds before you hot tap into the main pipe. That's obvious. And the easiest way to make the pressure test is to use compressed air. And we usually put 4 to 6 bar compressed air and check the leaks. So for the pressure test, you will need the manometer and of course compressed air. And like I said, we usually use 4 to 6 bars because it's the optimum pressure to check the leaks. So we will put the pressure inside the pipe. We will connect the manometer and we'll see that the pressure is raised now up to 6 bars. Then we will take the soap water and just carefully and now we can see there are no leaks in the weld, and we also see that the pressure is not dropping. And if we want to be really sure, we can also use the soap water for the adapter and the machine to check that there's no leaks in the machine. So basically, now I see that there's no leaks, and I would give myself a permit to start hot tapping. The basic set always comes with electric drive unit. Electric drive unit has many good qualities. It's easy to choose the right RPM, and it has wide range of different RPMs, so basically you can always choose the right one for any size of hot tap. Then you'll need the locking screw, so the drive unit will be locked to the shaft, make it like a solid structure. Before I put the machine, the electric drive unit, to the shaft, I will release the test pressure from the drilling chamber. Then I will insert electricity and mount the drive unit. And also here, it's good to try to avoid any hitting motions so that we do not destroy the pilot drill. Then I will screw the drive unit to the shaft. No excessive force is needed, just tighten it a little bit like that. Then, when we start hot tapping, the first phase is of course to do the pilot drill hole. For that, we will choose the fastest possible RPM always. And with this machine, it means selection number 2 from the machine, from the gear, and number 6 from the speed rate. And before I start, I want to check that the manometer is showing 0 bars. I will put my ear protection on, and now I'm ready to hot tap. And what I also like to do is I like to recap everything before I start, because you cannot go back. So the welding seam is checked with test pressure. We check that the valve works and there's enough space for the shaft to move freely. We put the feed socket fully opened, so it means that this is automatically the right place to start. We have locked the electric drive unit to the place, and the manometer is on place. So basically, we are now double checked and ready to go. Gear number 2, fastest possible RPM, and then we go. So with all Tonisco machines, the drive unit is turning the shaft and the feed is done with the feed socket. I'm going to start now. And all the machines are designed so that you should never use any force. You should just gently turn the feed socket and let the machine do the work. And from the manometer, you will easily see when the pilot drill penetrates the pipe. And now we see that the pilot drill is through because the pressure in the drilling chamber has risen to 6 bar, which is currently the pressure in the main. Then we want to make a few more turns to make sure that the pilot is really through. Now, when the machine is turning freely, we can actually take away our ear protection and then just feed the pilot to the pipe. So if it reaches the point where the barbed wires open, you can actually hear a small click. But today, in this stage, we do not have enough feed. So here you can see how the feed actually runs out. And this means that then we have to adjust the feed socket. And this is simple and easy. Put your body weight on the socket, start opening the socket, and same time pushing the socket to the next locking place. Like this. And now you have released new drilling space for yourself. So basically, it's always safe to start hot tapping when you are 1 or 2 above the center line of the body. And here we can see that we would still have 2 extra places, so we would have plenty of drilling distance. This is one of the really good features of Tonisco machines, that they never run out of drilling space. Then what we want to do, we want to take it a little bit back, see that it turns freely. Then we will start feeding it without turning it. Now you heard the barbed wire clicking. Then you will continue turning the feed socket without turning the machine, and now it stopped. So this means that now the hole saw is touching the pipe surface. Then we take a little bit back, and we know the pressure in the main now. We don't need the manometer anymore. I always like to take this away because you can easily hit on it or whatever and cause problems. We take the manometer away. Then for this size of hot tap, I will select the gear selection number 1, and because it's 38 millimeters, I will almost use the fastest RPMs possible for the gear number 1. The point is to find the right RPMs for the right hole size and right main material. The turning speed, it will basically decide how easy the actual cut will be. So now we have taken the gear number 1, which is stronger, and then we have reduced the speed rate with 1. So we have now number 5. And now I know that the hole saw is really near to the pipe, and I'm ready to the hole saw cutting. And here, the machine may sometimes kick a little bit. So make sure that you have a good stance before you start. also here, when doing the hole saw cutting, you really don't have to use any force. Let the feed socket do its job. Just hold on to the drive unit and feed with patience. You can feel when the hole saw has penetrated the main. You can feel it from the feed socket and you can hear it from the electric drive. But now we want to make sure that it's totally full, so let's turn off the drive unit and double check that it's actually gone through by turning only the feed socket. By doing this, we secure that the hot tapping is totally through. After the hot tapping is done, we will release the shaft by pushing our own body weight, releasing the locking from the feed socket and easily letting the machine rise from the power of the pressure. Then, before we release the pressure, we want to take the drive unit away. We also want to take the feed socket away. By doing this, we are able to avoid any excessive weight on the shaft when we release the pressure. Because we want to avoid that the shaft will drop on the ball. Now the ball valve, when we close it, we want to avoid that the shaft do not drop on the ball. We'll take the releasing hose and the Allen key. We will close the valve. Then we will release the pressure from the drilling chamber. And always put the hose away from yourself and hold the shaft as well. Now the pressure is released from the chamber. Now I can also dismount the hot tap machine. Now I see that the hot tapping has been successful. We have the coupon and a lot of waste. I'm dismounting the shaft, removing the pilot drill, and you can see the magnet has really taken a lot of the drilling waste. After the hot tap work is done, it's really important to disassemble the shaft and the machine and clean all the parts. If you have a compressor, you can do it easily and fast. Unscrew all the parts, clean the threads, make sure that there's no drilling waste or anything else. And basically now you can put the adapter back to its place on the suitcase. This way the machine will last forever and you always find your tools ready to use for the next time. Now I will show you how to disassemble the shaft. You will take the special tools, special Tonisco keys from the hot tap machine suitcase. You take the opening pins, 2 pieces, then place the special key on the shaft, right where you have these holes for the pins. You will put the pin through the key and the hole in the shaft, and then you can use the key opening to unlock the shaft. It's good to have a hammer so that you can give a small push to the chuck so it opens easily. Now when you have removed the chuck, you see the pins will fall out and it's easy to unscrew the hole saw. Also these parts clean them and put them back. The same with the shaft extension. You can leave the same key on the place it on the hole on the shaft, and the other end you can put directly to the upper end of the shaft. Hold it and open it. If you take your time and always disassemble and clean the shaft and the machine, we will guarantee that the machine will last for decades.